We're live, we're live, we're live. What's up, everybody? I see a lot of people in there waiting for us. How's everyone doing today? My name is Brooklyn Core Cutters, and I got my family with me. All right, what's up, family? We're gonna start with Jazzy. What's up, Jazzy?
Hey, how are you, Brooklyn?
I'm
How's
good. I'm
everybody
good.
on the panel?
Yeah, everything is good. All
Pretty
right.
good.
Yep.
Fine.
Next, good, True Diva. Next up is Dre.
Hello, everyone out there in YouTube land. I hope you guys enjoy the show today, and hello to everyone on the panel.
All right, that's what's up. Next is Playlister.
Hello, everybody.
All right. Next is True Diva.
Hello, everybody. Hi to everybody in the chat,
All
and
right.
thanks for coming.
Yep. And those who don't know me, my name is Brooklyn Core Cutters, and this is my family. Today is Sunday, True Crime Sunday. I got the ladies with me. I'm pretty sure they got something fantastic to share with us today. So, ladies, what y'all got to share? I'm gonna say what's up to everybody in the chat. Right as y'all come in, smack those thumbs up. All right, and enjoy the show, ladies. What we got today?
Today we're going to talk about Ray and Faye Copeland, their serial killer couple.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you can get ahead
and
to start. Tell us what's going on today.
right. Ray Copeland, he was born in Oklahoma in 1914. Um, he got in a lot of trouble doing things he had no business doing, far as writing bad checks, buying cattle, not paying for them. So he got in trouble. He got arrested and he was in jail for a year. After that, he met up with Faye, and they went together for a little while, and then they got married. And as I stated, he was doing a lot of things that he had no business doing, stealing, writing bad checks, and then here comes the killing. He started killing people.
Right.
Right,
Wow,
Dre.
that's
You want
crazy.
Yes.
Right.
Dre? You want to
Yes.
elaborate on it?
Yes. Just like Jazzy said, um, Ray had got convicted for stealing property and writing bad checks in 1939, and he was sentenced to 1 year in jail. He once he came out of prison in 1940, that he met Faye Copeland, and they both got married, and they had several children. Ray, his main job was buying livestock, but he was writing bad checks to buy the livestock. So what Ray had to do, he had to hire farm hands to buy the livestock for him. So he hired farm hands, um, opened up a checking account, and had them go to the auction and write the bad checks. So how everything got started was what started them on the killing spree is he didn't want the farm hands to say anything about the bad checks that was being written. So he started, killing them. And his signature killing spree was shooting them with a 22 caliber rifle. So he killed 5 people. I don't believe Faye was involved, according to the story that I read, but she got convicted of murder also. So, Truth, you want to elaborate?
Yes. And also, Ray used to go find some of the people that were really desperate for money. He preyed on the homeless and people with mental illness, and he would go to shelters and find these people that he had writing checks for him. And one guy in particular came up missing. I think his name was Dennis.
Mm-hmm.
Right, right,
Yes.
yes,
He he
yes,
he came up missing, and the sheriff came out and talked to him. He was nonchalant about it. He was like, "Oh, the man just left in the middle of the night," and he says, "Oh, well, he was writing me bad checks too." So so he take it off of him. Then one day during the investigation, somebody actually did a anonymous tip and
right.
told them that the bodies was buried on the farmland. Jazzy?
Yes.
Hello, everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, hello everyone.
Hello. What I'm thinking is that okay, they're saying that Faye, his wife, didn't have anything to do with it, but each each person that he employed, she had an X next to their name.
Right,
Okay, and each person that he murdered, that they saying that he murdered, she made a quilt out of those people clothing and they slept under that quilt.
right,
Right.
right,
Yeah,
Yes.
so how is it that she had nothing to do with it or didn't see what was going on? That right there makes no sense to me, guys.
right,
That they're saying that she had nothing to do with it.
right. Well, the
Well,
only
back then, it was a such thing as when you got married, and you had to do what your husband said do, and she felt as though she was doing what her husband told her to do.
Yeah, but back in the
yeah,
day, that's how it was. I'm gonna let you go, Dre, in a minute.
mhm,
Back in the day, that's how it was. When our family, was coming up, the wife always paid homage or whatever to the husband. So it's always back then in those days, it was a lot of mental abuse back then.
Yes,
You know,
yes,
um, I know how it was because I done seen my whole family from back there how it was. It wasn't a good thing. So maybe this is one of those situations. So Dre, I'm gonna let you get it. Say what you're gonna say.
oh,
All
okay.
right.
Yeah, I was saying that Faye was the only thing that she was convicted on was the ledger that she had kept with the 12 farmhands' names on it that actually worked for them at the time. So the way they convicted her is the five bodies that they found on their property. Those five names matched the ledger that she had written down, the names that she had written down. So they
yes,
convicted her on that ledger alone. But
yes,
she was stating that she didn't know anything that her husband was doing outside of that. She was just writing the names of the farmhand people down so they could keep track of who they need to pay. So police convicted her on that ledger alone. And to make the story a little bit more intriguing, this couple both was over they were in their 70s when they started committing these murders.
In their 70s.
They were in their
Yes.
yes.
70s. So they started committing the murders between 1986 and 1989. They committed uh, five murders that the police can actually, you know, that the police can actually
Pin
see
on
that
them.
they committed,
Yeah.
that they could pin on them. But
Right.
there was 12 names on the ledger, and all of those, the remaining of those people on that ledger, they can't find them anywhere. So they thinking there's more bodies that's buried on the property. But this guy had over 400 acres of land, and them trying to scavenge and find buried parts and bodies on that land. That's
Yeah.
that's
It's
gonna take.
amazing.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. So.
Yeah, Dre, I want to ask you something, right?
Uh,
Okay, when you first started talking, y'all was saying something about the cattle that they
right,
was having the farm hands go by the cattle,
right,
and they was giving bad checks,
right.
right? What were they doing with the cattle? Just buying the cattle just for their farm so they can feed off their land. What was the purposes of buying the cattle? They
Yeah,
had a business going, or
yeah,
something.
yeah. That's the way Ray and Faye fed their family. Like I said, they had
So,
several children, and he was a farmer, so he lived off the farm and off the
Right.
land, and he bought cattle, you know, to resell to
Oh,
make
okay.
money for his
Right.
family. So that was a
Yeah.
livelihood.
Now I got it.
Right,
Yeah, because I was wondering what the purpose was the cattle for.
right.
Yeah. So I thought maybe they had a plant where they was had a meat plant or stuff like that. So they buy cattle, to slaughter, for business. You
Well, yeah,
know
yeah. He would take
that.
them to go get slaughtered. That's how they got their money. He
Okay.
either sold to other farmers or he would take the cattle and slaughter the cattle and get money from it.
Okay.
And,
How long it took, like, for how long it took before they know that the check was bad? Because once you write a one bad check, automatically over here, nowadays, I don't know what year Jazzy said the year this ever happened, but once you write a bad check, you're going to get stopped automatically. You're not going to be poked. You're not. We're not going to get a chance to give another bad check. That's not going to
Right, but
happen.
this was in
What?
the 19 was in 1914.
Okay,
So it was
it's hard to.
many
Yeah.
moons
Okay,
ago, right?
I
Many
understand.
moons
I
ago
understand.
when
Right.
he was doing this. And each person that they murdered, he shot them in the back of their head.
What?
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yes.
he buried them on the land.
Yes.
That's
Buried him
horrible.
somewhere
Uh,
on his property.
I needed the picture of these. If the day was a perfect day for that, I should have had their picture up.
Right.
Because you
Okay.
saying 70 years old, I would imagine I had to see them.
Yes.
It's okay. So
Hey, Ray, could you tell them the good part about it, about Ray?
Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. So Ray, he had started developing Alzheimer's during this time that he was committing the murders, and actually the murders that he was committing, he would leave the body laying out for 2 days before he could remember, hey, I actually committed this murder. I need to go hide this body.
Yeah.
So so that
Oh man,
that was
he
the funny part.
already he
Yeah,
already making a defense. Oh, I
yeah,
didn't know.
yeah. He
All
had Alzheimer's.
timers. Oh
Yeah.
Lord,
So he's finding bodies on his property, and he's wondering where the bodies came from.
unbelievable.
Yeah, and he's burying them. So I mean, this guy committed murders, and he got Alzheimer's.
That's his defense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my
Hmm.
God.
that was his
Yeah.
defense. But
Wow, y'all
but
heard that out there, y'all.
That's
Did
what's
y'all
funny
hear
about it
that? 70 year
because
olds. He said, "Oh, I got Alzheimer's. Hey, man, where that body came from right there?
yeah,
Yeah,
Oh
he asked his son where
Lord.
that's
yeah,
exactly what he asked somebody.
Oh
How that
my
body get on the
God.
floor?
Can
yeah,
y'all imagine that, y'all?
yeah. That's crazy. When I read that, I
Unbelievable.
Yep.
couldn't believe it. But like True said, one farmhand, he actually got away. He
Yeah.
actually talked Ray out of killing him. So he told Ray that he would leave town and he wouldn't tell anyone. But this was the guy who actually called in to Crime Stoppers to alert the authorities that there was bodies on Ray and Faye Copeland's property.
Wow.
Yeah. So
And if it
they
wasn't,
go ahead.
excuse me, Joy, I'm sorry. If
It's
it
okay.
wasn't for him, they wouldn't have found them bodies
Exactly.
because he knew the whole farm area, and he said one favorite part that he liked was a pasture, and
Right.
that's where they found five of them bodies at
So
in
they
that pasture.
so people was coming outside, walking down the road, and this body there, body there, body there, body there.
Hmm.
Mm.
No, what ended up happening was the bodies was on his property. So the police had gotten two Crime Stopper reports on this guy. So the second time they came out, they started scrounging his property, his land,
Right.
and that's when they started finding the places where he had buried the guys that he had killed. So they found five people, and those five people, by the time they had found them, the bodies had already decomposed. Yeah,
Wow.
that was
Hmm.
3 years later. So they had
Wow.
to have dental records to identify a lot of these guys, and
That's crazy.
they were
Hmm.
able to identify five people that was on this ledger that Faye Copeland was keeping.
Wow.
But
Unbelievable.
right, right. So
All timers.
yeah,
Hmm.
Alzheimer's. So basically,
Wow.
when they were convicted, they both got the death penalty. Of
Yeah, of
course,
course. Yeah,
of,
of course.
of, of course, Ray, he didn't live to see his execution date. He died in prison, and
Mm,
Faye, she got commuted down to a life sentence because,
wow.
like I say, the only thing they was able to hold against her was the ledger that she was keeping.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
eventually, she got released from prison due
Oh,
to her bad health.
she got released?
She did. She
Yeah,
got
she had a
released.
stroke in prison.
Right,
Wow.
right. But she died shortly after she was released. She only lived another year after she was released.
Hmm.
So they both pretty much spent the rest of their life in prison.
Yeah, that's crazy.
right. But
Hmm.
you got to remember, this was back in 1914, and this was when it was the Great Depression. Depression. So,
Depression, yeah.
right, they had a lot of children, and in order for him to feed his kids, this is what he did.
Right,
Right.
But
exactly.
then,
Yeah.
right, but then he started murdering people because he got caught doing check forgery. So then he stopped doing it, and he started hiring people to go and get this cattle and stuff with these fake checks.
That's
Right,
crazy.
So in order
right,
for him to not get caught again, he started killing them.
Yeah.
exactly.
Wow.
Or exactly. Order for him not to
Because
get
they would
caught.
have.
Yeah, go ahead, Dre.
Yeah, order for him. That's exactly right, Jazzy. Order for him not to get caught and to keep from paying these his farm hands $50 a day.
Right.
That's when he started committing the murders because he couldn't afford to pay him. He didn't have the money to pay him.
Right. And what part of the time is when he claimed the Alzheimer's when he was about to get caught?
When he got caught.
You see what
Yeah,
I'm
when
saying?
yeah when he got caught,
You see?
because yeah
That's why I
he
said that. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But
yeah
That's
actually, he
why I
didn't
said that.
claim it.
He didn't have no Alzheimer's before that. He only had Alzheimer's after it was about to go down, you know.
yeah
But
yeah
I'm
Alzheimer's,
sure
yo.
they.
Let me ask you a
Hmm.
question. Did he put the body? He had to put the bodies out there, you know. Now you
he
gonna
eh,
answer that. He
Hmm.
put them there. Oh, where that
yeah
body come from? You can imagine coming outside, a body laying there.
well,
Hmm.
You like,
well
where
you
that
Well,
came from?
maybe he did have maybe he did have it.
You think so?
But
Yeah,
you know
maybe he did
what?
have
When
it
you have.
because Mhm.
Go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
Joyce. When
No,
you
go.
have Alzheimer's, your mind slips. It comes and goes. Now, when he was doing the murders, he was fully aware of the murders. But after he committed them, it just wiped right out his it wiped right out his head. Like if you know
I'm not gonna
anybody
say
with
it can't
Alzheimer's,
happen. Yeah, I'm not gonna say
Hmm.
it can't happen, but that's crazy.
yeah
yes,
Definitely.
yeah
You
and
Right,
heard, you
but
heard Jane Mack said it's insane.
yes, but he
Yep.
he he was in his 70s, so he may have had
Right.
it. He may have had it, and like Diva
yes,
said, once he committed the murder, he forgot about it because that's what happens when you have that.
Yeah.
And then when he came back to his senses, the body was laying there for two
Yeah.
days, and he was wondering how did this body get here? Because
Yeah.
I mean, he could have
But
had
let me
it.
ask you a question now. Okay, I heard what y'all
mhm,
said. Now, how did they pinpoint it to him?
Hmm.
Do
so
y'all know?
Right, because
yeah,
Diva
yeah.
said that he tried to kill one of the farmhands and he got
and he
away
got away.
he went to the police and said
Oh,
that
okay.
it was bodies on the land on
Oh,
that
so the
land.
farm hands already knew what was going on then.
Ex-
Particular person he got away and he
Yeah,
went to
no,
the
but if you
police.
had all those farm hands on there, they knew about it. Because there's no way that you're gonna have bodies all over your land and those farm hands don't know. It's
well
Hmm.
not.
Nah, he didn't
what
have a whole bunch
it,
of them. He
Oh,
hired one at a time.
Right,
oh,
exactly
He killed them one at a
yeah
time.
oh.
he
So
he
he's killing the help.
he
he
hired
was
one at
Yeah.
a
Hmm.
time, and if they had a nice coat on, they saw that blanket on there in that nice coat. So
right because
Yep.
she
Hmm.
was she was making a quilt out of those people that he murdered clothes.
That's
exactly.
crazy.
So
That's
and they were
crazy.
sleeping under, so they were saying it was very morbid because these people are dead and she makes a quilt out of them. So that's why they probably was like, how did she not know anything about it?
That's crazy.
Come
Yeah,
on,
What's
y'all.
up? What's up,
Hello.
King?
Just,
What's up, King Dose?
just think about it, guys.
That's
If
crazy.
if they're gone, you wouldn't ask your husband where these clothes come from. Did this
Yeah,
person have them
man.
on?
Come on,
I'm
Come
man.
not
on, that's what I'm
sleeping under
saying.
them.
Too
Huh?
much going on.
And then
Sleeping
and
on.
then you making a quilt out of these dead men clothing,
Yeah.
but you don't ask questions. I mean,
I
come
wonder
on.
how their childhood was, man.
Hmm.
Crazy.
yeah.
Crazy, man.
It really didn't say how their childhood
No,
was.
I just wondering how their childhood was. I know
Right.
they didn't. They weren't gonna. That's we going way back. But you can imagine how their childhood was, because you just don't. Like I said, we did plenty of these stories. You just don't wake up, overnight. When you, oh, yeah, I'm a killer now. Though something was going on in their life that either they snapped or something drove them to it. You
Well,
Right,
know,
but
Hmm.
what's weird is because these people are grandparents that was doing this. This is the
yeah.
first
You
time
talk
I even
70
heard.
years old.
Yes, this is the
That's
first
why.
time.
17 grandkids to be exact.
Wow,
Right.
that's why I said this is a wild factor. But at least they didn't touch the kids though. At least they, we
Yeah.
did some other
Thank
ones.
God.
The kids and stuff, man. They killed the kids and stuff. So they was killing just farm hands, right?
Yes.
Yes.
right. Right.
Only farmhands, because that's all I heard
Yes.
y'all say. I ain't hear
Yep.
y'all say they going out and,
No.
and
No.
found somebody and brought them
No.
home and killed them and
Uh-uh.
stuff like that.
No.
Hmm.
And they killed the farmhands because the farmhands, I'm just giving you my theory. The farmhands, they knew too much.
Yep.
They knew too
Exactly.
much of what's going on. So you know what? Okay, before we, get caught, we gotta take them out. And that's how it was. So how many, approximately how many people that they think that got killed by them?
12.
12.
Yeah. 12.
Wow,
Hmm.
But they only got convicted for five
that's
of
crazy. That's
counts of
still
murder.
five too many though.
Right.
You
Yes.
know,
Absolutely.
Right.
one too many. That's ridiculous. So it's
Yep.
Hmm.
But
crazy.
yeah,
But it
but
was crazy. It was crazy because it was a livestock scam. So that's what he was
Yeah,
doing. He was buying
livestock. Yeah,
livestock, and
fake
and
checks.
and fake checks.
Yeah, it's
right.
So in
crazy though.
order for him not to get caught again, he started hiring people, had
Yeah,
them do it, and then murdered him.
yeah, that's crazy,
Exactly.
yo.
Yeah.
That's a plan for you. I tell you.
Yeah.
For real. And then at the end, oh, where that body come from? Now, I ain't making light of the situation. And these are true stories. And for him to use that offense, like this ain't the first time we saw people use that defense. All timers, they don't know, people walking around like all of a sudden they crazy, but no signs of them being crazy when they out here in society. Only when they
Hmm.
get caught or doing something that they had no business doing, then all of a sudden they have to figure out a way out or figure out a way to lessen their sentence. You
Right.
know,
Exactly.
yeah, but it's
Exactly.
it's, it's terrible. One person life is not worth that. But this is the world we living in. So that's why we come out. Every Sunday. Thanks to the ladies and Dre. For lightening us on what's going on because I never know about these people. I don't read books and stuff like that because I'm working and stuff like that. So I like to come and take my Sunday and come and enjoy what y'all have to bring to everyone. This is my time to come and sit down and enjoy myself to listen to you guys. It's awesome, guys. It's awesome. The stuff that y'all bring to the table week after week. All the findings. It's amazing. Y'all my ID. The I
We
Yeah.
watch
don't
enough
Yeah.
of it.
yeah, I don't watch TV or nothing like that. So I come and enjoy y'all. Y'all my ID.
Right.
That's what is your ID is called investigation
Investigative.
discovery,
Yes.
Exactly.
right? Well,
Yes.
y'all
Absolutely.
my investigation discovery.
Yeah.
And I appreciate y'all. Week after week. Um, Let me see what people saying in the chat. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Hmm.
Y'all
Yeah.
y'all can go check out previous videos they had, and y'all will be amazed of the stories, true stories that they bring to the table. Absolutely,
Right. Right.
Okay.
absolutely. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Um, Ray, he plead insanity, right? But
Right,
eventually he gave up and he made a agreement. So
right.
Hmm.
he was trying to insanity plea,
Hmm.
but it didn't work for him. So he just did a plea agreement.
Oh,
Right.
okay. Yeah, it couldn't
Yes.
work, man. It couldn't work. It wouldn't
And
have
then
worked for me too.
right, and then Faye, she said it was battered woman syndrome.
Yeah.
Bad at win. That's what didn't I just say
But I
that? So
Yes.
believe that
I
though.
just
I
said that.
believe that
I
though.
Yes.
just said that. I
Yeah.
Yeah.
just said that.
Yeah.
The way things was back then and there. I hate to say it, but that's the way it was.
Yes.
The husband always was the dominant one in the whole family. It's like what he say is what it's supposed to be.
Right.
And that's the way it was back then and there. You try that shit today, you get a frying pan, you get all kind of shit happen
That's
to
it.
you.
You better know that's right.
Well. Well.
You
That.
know?
Well.
So
Nice finger.
please, y'all, do not try that.
Yeah. Well.
It is so
You,
true. It's
you
so
know.
true.
Funny that you would say that because one of the kids that actually told the story, Ray was taking a frying pan to them.
To them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's what
Yeah.
I'm
So
saying. It's
yeah,
crazy.
Hmm.
Yo.
not a frying pan, but an iron casket
Skilling iron.
skillet. Yeah,
Yes.
That's the
Yeah.
kind we use.
Yeah.
Yeah, them little
So
skillets.
you knocking
Ye-
people out with that, you know?
Yeah, that's
yes.
crazy though.
So
Yeah.
he probably was mistreating his wife. And maybe
Yeah.
she didn't know about it, but
Yeah, but even
she
if
went to jail for it also. So
but even if she knew Jazzy, she wouldn't say nothing because y'all know how it was back then. She
Yes.
was forced to silence. Silence he. You say something, I'm gonna put something on you.
Right.
And she was scared probably herself. But
Right.
nowadays, I don't think it would work that way because nowadays, if you
Mm-mm.
see something going on, you out.
Right.
right.
You
Hey.
Right.
out
Right.
because eventually it's gonna fall on you.
Right.
And if you ain't got nothing to
Mm-hmm.
do with it, don't bring that over here. You ain't making it fall on me because it falls on you when you don't say nothing. When you
Right.
see it and you don't say nothing, then that makes you more guilty than the person that did it. If somebody did something like God forbid or whatever, my I come in or something, I did something, I don't expect for Jaggy to say, well, okay, we're gonna cover it up. I don't think that's gonna happen. You
Brooklyn
understand?
Gangstar has a question.
Okay, what
How
is
much time did the wife get?
okay?
The wife, she was sentenced to death also, but her sentence was commuted down to life in prison. But
Mm,
later, uh, I believe she was 80 or 81 when her health started going bad. So they
Mm-hmm.
let her out and released her to a retirement home, and
mm.
basically that's where she passed away in that retirement.
Wow, that's
Mhm.
crazy.
Right,
That's crazy. They was old, y'all. 70 years old, if I'm not mistaken. That's what y'all said when they first
Yes.
started doing these crimes.
right,
Yes.
76.
Wow. Wow. Well, thank God, they waited that long because if they was doing this since they were teenagers all the way to 70, would have been tragic. You know
Yes,
yeah,
it
what
would have been horrific.
yeah,
I'm saying?
Absolutely,
Word.
Brooklyn.
yeah.
For real.
Yeah. So
So,
yeah, this is the first time I've heard of you
yeah.
know serial killers up in the
Yeah.
70s. I tell you
Yeah,
because
when Jaji came to me and she told me she was telling me the story, right, I looked at it like, you serious? 70 years old?
in
Yeah,
Gotta
the
be
this,
kidding me.
Yeah,
70s.
but they hold
70
the
years
record.
old, but 70 years
They
old,
hold.
man, you can't even like back then when you 70, you can't even walk well.
well, that's
You
what I was
know,
getting ready to say. He could barely hold that
that's
22
what
up.
I'm trying to tell you. Back then, 70 years old, man, you had a cane, you was limped over and all that. I don't know.
Right.
I
And
Hmm.
don't
then
know.
they were farmers too, so they take a
Now
toll on your body
70,
also.
yeah, now 70 nowadays 70 might look 50,
Right.
Yeah.
or
Right.
something like that, or 60 or whatever. But yeah, nah. Back
Right.
then 70 was 70.
Yes.
For
Yeah.
real.
Yes, I agree with
Telling
that.
you.
I agree.
For
Well,
real.
well,
Right.
there was no mercy. They, like I said,
Yeah.
they sentenced them both to death.
Yeah,
And
but anybody that do that, it should be no mercy. For
right,
real. You kill
right,
somebody, it should be no mercy, period.
right.
Is I'm for the death penalty? Absolutely. Because if you kill somebody, I think you should be killed too. That's where if I do a crime and I kill somebody, I feel that they should take me out too.
Hmm.
Because you can't go around killing people and they're not here, and then you just murdering people. That should be a law. Once you murder, I bet you if you that came law, you murder somebody, you gonna die. I bet you it'll be less murders. How much y'all guarantee? It'll be
Mm-hmm.
less. If you get caught killing somebody and you know that if you get caught, you're going, it'll be less murders.
Of course.
Right.
It'll be less murders.
J Max said he
Yeah, I
was
know. I
drunk.
seen it.
Blame it on the liquor.
Blame it on liquor.
Yeah, blame it on
Yeah.
the liquor. But J Mac, now check this out. I understand that. Now, what if you was gonna get executed if you did that? It didn't matter, blame it on the liquor or not. If you did that, you try to make a defense, you're going. Don't matter. You better take your last drink. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Yes.
Because you'll be
Yes.
gone.
Right.
And like I said, if I think if they do that, it will be less people getting murdered. That's just my personal
That's just
opinion.
okay. Okay, got you.
My
Got you.
personal opinion.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, this there was something else. But I mean,
Yeah.
he did what I guess he thought he did what he thought was best to feed his family because there was a lot of them. But I mean, it was the wrong thing. But
Yeah,
that was his frame of mind.
yeah. Everybody make mistakes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that
was his frame of mind.
yeah, that was his frame of mind. Plus, he couldn't get anything else because of his early crimes that he committed when he was younger.
Right,
Right,
right.
So
right.
that was the only thing he could do is
Told y'all.
farm
Yeah.
hand. You
But
know
I
what I mean?
told y'all it always start when you young. You see how we always talk, and we
Yeah,
always going. You see, he been in trouble since he was a kid, since he
yeah,
was a teenager coming up. It
yeah.
always starts back then there. And like I said, I can imagine he probably was a bully in school. He was taking kids lunch money. You know, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm telling
Hey, actually, he dropped out of school when he was
you.
15 years old and went
Yeah,
to work.
Yeah, he was a loner.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
it's
when he
crazy,
started.
bro.
That's when he started his robbing
You see,
and stealing. Because you
told
got
you.
to remember that was during the time frame of the Great Depression, also.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
That's
You
when the
know.
yes,
gangs was running around and all that
Hmm.
too. I remember that.
Right. Right.
right.
It's
People were
crazy, though.
starving. People were
It's
starving back
crazy.
then.
In
So
the '60s, man, it was rough, bro. It was rough in the '60s,
Yeah,
man.
Mm.
60, 65, 67, 68.
Six-
68
yeah.
was gang wars.
Right.
yeah. So I
68
mean,
Crazy.
was horrible.
yes, it was
Hurt.
horrible. But this is what this man did, and they convicted his wife too for it. So I mean, that's the law. If you're there and I murder somebody, you just as guilty as I am.
That's
So
what I'm saying.
I do get it. I do
Yeah.
get that.
I
Yeah.
remember one time when I was young, I was probably maybe around 7 years old. You know, it was the depression then, and police was chasing crowds of people. I guess they was rallying or whatever. I didn't know what was going on, and the
Mm.
police come knock on our door. I remember this. I never forget it. They knocked on the door, and I said, I'm looking around. Police up in the house, and
Mm.
they looking out the window. They take me to the window, and they said, look out the window. Tell me if you see anybody. I'm looking out the window in the backyard because they were looking for people. I guess I guess when you're young, you have a sharper eye, you know. And
Mm.
I was nervous. I was nervous. I'm
Right.
like, wow, they people running around the street, gangs and all. It was terrible back then.
Right.
It
Right.
was
Yeah,
terrible.
yeah,
Today's society is way better than when I was coming up. I'm telling you, it
Right.
was terrible.
Right. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But
Well,
this is what they did.
yeah, and you got to look at where they was from too. So
Yeah,
where they purchased uh that land, that farm when they were committing the murders, they were also, they in Missouri. So, that's out in the, country part of Missouri, Morrisville, Missouri. So,
Yes,
Hmm.
yeah.
yes,
So,
yes, absolutely, gangster.
Yeah, strange things happen in the state of Missouri.
right.
Yeah,
Right.
you
Crazy.
know. You know.
Yeah. Yeah,
But this
that's
one was
right.
a great one. It wasn't as tragic like all the rest of them, but one life is way too many. You know, yeah. But this one here wasn't like I said. If y'all go and check the previous videos, they was really a bit much. These people was killing hundreds, like hundreds, 50, 60, 20, 30, or a lot of people, man.
yeah,
Right.
This one was light
Yeah.
yeah.
compared to all the rest.
Well,
Right.
you got to
Well, the
remember
other
too.
ones wasn't demented though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to remember too. These guys didn't start committing murders until they were 70. You can only do so much when you're 70 years
Yeah,
old.
that's
It's
what I'm
true.
saying.
That's true. That is so
So,
true.
That's
That is so
exactly what I'm
true.
saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I guess we kind of summed it up.
Okay.
But if you guys want to look at it, you can just Google it.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
just Google it, and
Yeah. I want everybody to know too. That I want to shout out to Iconics. The link is in the description for Iconic. So we're doing a lot of stuff. So you can go check me out if y'all want to see a lot of graphic stuff that we do over there. The link for Iconics is in the description of the video. Come check me out. You need an icon or something like that. You can join Brooklyn in the Families Telegram group. That link is also in the description of the video. Come check us out. We got a lot of stuff going on, you know, and everyone is welcome to come join us. All right. So yeah, we're gonna wrap it up, Jazzy. I guess, right?
Yes, because we summed up the whole
All right. Yeah.
story.
All right. Great show. Great show. I appreciate everybody that came out to show us some support, and I appreciate everybody that's going to view the show later. I hope y'all enjoy it. So we're gonna say our goodbyes, and we're gonna start off with Jazzy.
Good night. Thank you for coming and supporting Brooklyn and the family, and thank you guys on the panel. Thank you
All right.
guys.
Thanks. Next up is
Right.
Dre.
Yeah, I want to thank everybody coming out, watching the show today, and I want to say great job to everyone on the panel. We'll see you next time.
Yep.
Have a
And
good
then
day.
yep. Next is Playlister.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure being on the panel. Like the channel, thumbs it up and share it across everywhere. Thank you all for coming out.
All right. And then next up is True Diva. True Diva. What
Thank
happened to True Diva?
everybody in the chat for showing us
Okay.
love and support. And don't forget to come check us out on Tuesday for Tech Talk Tuesday.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah, y'all can check us out for Tech Talk Tuesday when we talking streaming gadgets and much more. You know, we appreciate everybody coming out and appreciate everybody watching us at home. You know, so until the next time, Brooklyn Core Cutters and the family out, y'all. Be
Good
safe
night.
out there. All right.
Good night. Be safe.
Good
Yep.
night.
Be safe.
Be